everybody, this is Marshall, and thank you for watching. And for those who are new, welcome to The Process. And this is my lovely, handsome, adorable, and sexy husband, Vito.
Excuse me. You just being like, you know. Like, what you want to talk about? Hey, you sounded sexy with the sexy. That's what I want to talk about. What's happening? How y'all doing? Good to see you, y'all. She said something before this video came on, so I'm kind of like trying to address it at the same time. Ain't nothing wrong with it. She just acting kind of little.
All right, man.
You just acting like, I don't know. Is there a glow on her? Do y'all see a glow? Is it a glow on you?
I don't know, is it?
I need my glasses. I'm just saying. You just, you know, you I mean, I can't put it. I'm trying to find the words. You acting, you acting debonair.
I don't know.
You know, like you just, you know,
your
movement. It's like you just, you like when you walk from there to there,
glad.
you gliding, floating. Like, yeah, floating. What's up?
Hello, you
Good
guys.
to see y'all. Oh my gosh, good to see y'all. I'm so happy to see y'all. Oh,
I wish we could see y'all for real.
in a minute.
They just saw us, baby, our anniversary.
That ain't the same thing. We was doing like a, you know,
yeah. Thank you guys
same.
for wishing us a happy anniversary, not just for our marriage, but also for you guys. And we met you guys 2 years ago, most of you.
The process life.
Doing the process life, so we want to.
It used to be Marshall life.
Yeah, it was my life.
Then what happened?
And then God told me to change to the process life.
And that's all.
So I obeyed. Anyway, we have another video for you guys.
Yes, we do.
have been literally trying to figure this thing out in regards to what we're going to talk about. And we did a survey, and you know us, even though we do surveys, we still want to be led by the Holy Spirit. But, you know, we want, you know, God can use whoever He wants to, however He would like. So today we're going to be talking about is online dating not trusting God. Okay, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, and we shall be back. We are back. First of all, let me just say that this happened. Ooh, jeez.
Before Christ, after Christ.
This is after Christ.
After Christ, okay.
I was a believer, single, saved, and waiting. And
horny.
Yeah, that too. That too. Don't get it twisted.
Yes.
Technically, what happened? I didn't necessarily go online and register online for online dating.
Who did it for you?
Someone else did this. Someone that was close to me.
Is she still close to your baby?
Not today, no.
Well, is your heart still close to her?
Absolutely.
Hey.
So, you know, she did this for me because she just decided, you know, she really wanted me to meet someone. Good intentions, good heart. Yeah. It wasn't anything that I desired to do for myself.
Of you being alone.
Yeah, she got tired of me being alone and single. So this person decided to go and register me for online dating. Well, fast forward, I met someone. Someone did call me. Matter of fact, the guy, he was from another
planet,
city.
From Pluto.
He was out of town. And he came into town for us to meet. We had talked on the phone for a minute. And on the phone, everything seems like it was fine. We prayed together.
Wow.
We talked.
Wow.
We got to know each other. Never saw him, you know, face to face. This was, like I said, everything was done because of the online dating site. I think it was called Harmony.
eHarmony, baby.
eHarmony, yeah.
eHarmony.com.
Not trying to get them shout
We are not trying to advertise
we're not sponsored
now.
We're
okay?
not sponsored
all right?
I'm just being honest and upfront and transparent. It was through the eHarmony site. And again, maybe a month, if I'm not mistaken. We conversed back and forth over the phone.
Wow. Did it sound sexy?
Yes, he did. He sounded very sexy. We would pray before when we got on the phone. We would pray afterwards before we go to bed. You know, he would pray, I would pray. So it was at this point, I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Especially when y'all prayed.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Especially when he prayed. I was like, okay, God.
That's the main thing that gets you right there, don't it?
He prayed. And then finally he decided to come down to meet me. And we sent each other pictures. So he had pictures of me. I had pictures of him.
Did it look good?
He did. Yes, he did.
All right.
So when he came down,
I ain't mad.
He finally came down. And when he came down, he did not look like the guy
that was on the pictures.
There's a lot of
he airbrushed.
Yeah, filters.
Yeah, he got himself filtered.
Filters. Keep that in. I want y'all to put that in your back pocket. We'll come back to filters. So of course it was kind of like a shock because I was thinking, okay, he doesn't look the same. Not that he wasn't attractive. He just didn't look the same. Okay, so what I was expecting, that's not what I saw.
The pictures didn't resonate what it looked like in the natural,
yeah,
in the real.
So exactly. So we spent the day with each other, just kind of again trying to connect, and we did not.
How was y'all conversation?
It was very religious at best, but flesh at worst. So, and the reason I say that is because
religious at best,
flesh at its worst.
Flesh at its worst.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I like that too.
Yeah.
Dang,
religious at best,
but flesh at its worst.
Flesh at its worst.
Yeah.
Dang, how you be coming up with this stuff?
Holy Spirit.
Okay.
So anyway, after the weekend of hanging out, I continued to pray, which I've always told you guys. Even when you meet someone, you should be praying before, during, and after.
Like she did it on our wedding day.
Yeah. So I'm still praying. Anyway.
You need to cut that out now.
Anyway,
all right now. Hey, look here. All right now. After 10 years, all right, don't start nothing.
Don't start none. Won't be none. Static. No static.
Ain't right.
So to me, there was no attraction. There was no spiritual attraction. There was no emotional, no mental. But yet I was attracted with him to him over the phone. But when there was an actual connection, there was nothing at all. I wasn't attracted to him physically. I wasn't attracted to him.
You was attracted to him emotionally.
I wasn't attracted to him at all when we saw each other.
No, I'm talking about on the phone.
On the phone, yes.
It started on the phone.
Yeah.
So the emotional side of you being attracted to him started on the phone.
Right. I had to cut it off.
Why?
And that was because it wasn't God at all. Not because I wasn't attracted to him, but I knew God was telling me this was not my husband. You're not his wife. So I had to obey. Although he felt differently, I had to go with the peace and the guidance of the Holy Spirit in that regard. So let's get back to the question. Do I feel like online dating isn't trusting God? My answer would be disobeying God is not trusting God.
Say that again.
It doesn't matter what it is. Disobeying God is not trusting God. Whether it's online or offline. A lot of times we put ourselves out there to expect something to happen, so we will manipulate certain situations. A lot of times online dating, offline dating. When I say offline, I'm saying meeting someone. We have a tendency to try to take control and help God out.
That's our nature.
In the process.
That's our nature.
The question would be, did God tell you to go online
to do that, right,
and date?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? If he said no, and you do it anyway, it's disobedience, and it's not trusting God. And if you do it without even asking, a lot of times people do it thinking it's all right, it's innocent. Listen, y'all, had I not had a relationship with God at the time, I could have gotten so involved in my emotions with this man because I really wanted to have somebody. Trust me, if I wanted him, I could have had him. Not trying to brag, but because my emotions could have been so out of control. This man was attracted to me. We pray. It's got to be God. I don't have to be single anymore. So therefore, let's go ahead and do this. Not even getting direction from the Holy Spirit. Marcelle's personal, this is me. Would I do it? No. Why? God didn't tell me to. Point blank. And it doesn't line up with my belief system. Because I truly believe that he who findeth. Now, you want to register and leave, because I've heard people say, well, I've registered and I just left it alone and a guy saw it and he the one contacted me. And if you feel like that's God, I can't tell you it's not. But I do know the human part of us, because of fear of being alone, we want to help God out. So we decide to take things upon ourselves and manipulate the situation. It's no different from someone saying, well, how can I position myself to be found by my man or by my woman?
Or how can I be found unless I position myself to be found?
And we did a video on that, so check it out. It's the same thing. You're trying to position yourself. I need to go here. I need to do this. I need to have that. I need to make sure I'm being noticed. But is that flesh or is it spirit? Are you doing online dating? Is that flesh?
Or is this
it spirit?
Right.
So you have to continue to ask yourself the question, have God ever connected people together online? He may have. Not my testimony. I don't know anybody, but trust me, I'm sure. And just because it has happened still doesn't mean it's God. A lot of people have gotten hooked up in the flesh online and offline.
Yes.
Thought it was God and realized that it wasn't.
Right.
So it's not an online dating type of thing. It's a did God say it type of thing. It's a are you in the flesh type of thing. Am I consulting my Father type of thing. So a lot of times we want to kind of pick and choose what we decide, what we think is good, what we think is bad, what we think is God, what we think is not God. And whether it's online dating or offline dating, positioning yourself to be seen and be noticed, it's all sometimes can be irrelevant, because the relevancy is it God? Let's go back to the filters. The world now, we live in a world that's perpetrating filters. Spiritual filters exist. What do I mean by spiritual filters? Think about regular filters. What do? It hides the flaws, or it enhances what you would like for things to be, or how you like things to look. And there's nothing wrong with that. We do enhancements with makeup all the time. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But a lot of times we'll use filters to hide the realness of who we really are. And guess what? If we can do that physically, what do you think, what type of filters we have in the spirit realm? That could have been a filter. On the phone, talking to a guy. God didn't tell me it was really, it was innocent. Trust me, it's innocent. Good intentions, though, can get you killed. We've talked about that, too. It was innocent. I didn't go looking for it. Someone did it for me, and it still wasn't God. But it was a filter, because had I was on the phone with him and everything was fine. It was looking great, y'all. Everything was enhanced with the prayers and talking about God and everything. But when you come face to face with reality, where are the filters? There were not any. So all I was able to see was reality. And a lot of times we get sucked in by the filters of our imagination, of our expectations, what we like, what we feel like we want, and then come to find out it's not God. And if you're not in tune with your Father, you can be misguided in so many ways. So that's my thoughts on, if online dating is not trusting God. Disobeying God is not trusting God. Not allowing God to lead and guide you is my answer. So it's not about online dating. It's not about, offline dating. God told me not to, so I did not. And it happened. So I had to trust God. Even in his no, I had to trust God for his yes. And that is the hardest thing we can do.
So you didn't pray before that happened? But get back on your bed. Y'all excuse me. Get back on your bed and stop and be quiet. Be quiet.
He wants some attention.
So you didn't think about praying first before you really actually, okay, after the site was put up, your profile, you didn't think about praying about that, or at that moment, you kind of got, so you were praying at that time, but you didn't hear anything. So you didn't really hear anything until after you guys met,
right,
face to face. So it was like, because God didn't tell you to do that, you were operating more in the flesh more than anything.
I think so, because my thing is, I believe, although I was praying and I didn't hear anything, I continued
without waiting
for the answer, thinking it was okay because it was innocent. We were on the phone at this time. I was still in my trying to figure out this whole dating type of situation. At this time, God hadn't told me not to date. At this point, this was way back when. So God hadn't told me anything about stop dating. This was during a time where I was kind of, guys would approach me and I would talk to them. But it wasn't one of those, he hadn't told me yet to cut it off with dating, period. So I was still trying to figure out, okay, maybe this could be God. He praying. And again, it wasn't the matter of me being hoish or trying to get somebody or position myself.
I was ask you, how was you?
It was just talking casually, and we were just trying to get to know each other, and we talked about just normal, basic things that you talk about when you meet somebody. But again, I believe that situation was supposed to happen, and not only that, it allowed me to see even if you try to do it yourself, if it's not God, it's not going to happen anyway.
Right.
Or you can force the issue and it can happen, and then you suffer the consequences, and then you have to start all over. It's just up to how you want to do. I could have said, God, you know what? I understand what you're saying, but this man want me, so I'm gonna go for it. But God gave me a way of escape because I heard him say, "This is not the one." And I believe had I waited, he would have told me way before I met him. But I think it was that curiosity, to be honest with you.
That's exactly
I wanted to see. I wanted to know. I was infatuated. I saw the pictures. We were on the phone. The emotion was stirring up.
Right.
So yeah, I was thinking, this is a man of God.
And that's what we go wrong at.
Exactly.
We try to see if something is God.
Right. And I got caught up. Got caught up,
Listen to that. I'm trying to see if God is in this. You're trying to see if God is in this. What do you mean you're trying to see? When really, actually, you're not supposed to see if God is in it. You're supposed to know that God is in it.
Because God will tell you.
God will tell you.
Because he loves his children just that much. That, why would I want my child to go see if the stove is hot?
Right.
Go burn yourself.
Right.
To see if it's hot.
There you go.
But if I know the stove is hot, has been a loving parent, I'm going to tell my child, Divine, do not touch that stove.
Right.
That stove is hot.
Right.
And she... Now, once I tell her that, it's still her responsibility to what? Obey or disobey.
She gonna feel the heat when she get there.
So when she just say, you know what? My mom don't know what she talking about. You know how we do. God don't know what you talking about. We may not say it, but our actions speak louder than words. I think I'm going to go anyway. I'm going ahead. You know, it might not be God. I think it's God. I don't know.
I'm going to see
if
it's God.
I'm going to see if it's God. I'm going to go ahead and register online and see if it's God. Because then if it's God, then, you know, a man going to, you know, come and snoop me up. If it's not God, then nobody... See, God said, I don't work like y'all. I don't think like you. My ways are not like yours. So a lot of times we put God in this box and say, well, I want a sign. So this must be God if it's this, and this must be God if it's that. We were just talking about this the other day. A lot of people think that God hooked them up based on circumstances and situations, and not necessarily understanding the relationship part of a hookup. But I can't understand if, you know, I can't understand it if I tell somebody XYZ, and my husband does it all the time. He's told, you know, people XYZ, this is going to happen. I'm saying this is going to happen. It happened to me. I've been doing it. But a lot of times they will say, well, that's him. That's not me. And they do it anyway and find out who they calling after the fact.
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, man, I told you not to do it.
You told me it was going to happen.
You did it anyway.
Yeah.
So and a lot of times that's the same attitude we have with our Father.
Yeah.
No, Holy Spirit has told us, given us the unction. No, you don't have spirit about it. If you're asking the question in doubt, that's a sign.
Yeah.
That's your sign. You want a sign? If you having doubts, or if you're asking the question and you don't have peace about it, I'm not saying that you shouldn't pray. Always pray. Yeah. Pray without ceasing.
Most definitely.
Do that.
Most definitely.
But a lot of times, our Father has already given us the answer to our question. But a lot of times we don't like the answer, so we want to answer. We want to ask the question a different way, as if we're smaller than God. God said, "My answer's still the same."
Do we know? Do you not know? I didn't say do we know, but do you not know that when you accept something that has been established and created by someone, and when you join in with them and connect with them what they're doing, they have these profiles on online dating or dating hookups or trying to connect people together. They cannot see the heart of a person.
They see your profile, y'all.
They can see only your profile, your height, what your aspirations are, what you desire to do in life, what kind of mate you would like. Listen now,
your height.
These are the things that they have on the applications. Am I right? They have like, what type of mate would you like, or what are your goals, or you know, what are your hobbies? Those are all natural things. Whereas the person who has established that profile, or who have got the information.
Oh, some of them, if you go to eHarmony, they're going to ask you what your denomination is.
What your denomination is. Right.
And you know, some of y'all, you see Christian.
He's a Christian.
He's a Christian.
That's it. But you have to understand this, is that when you submit yourself up under that establishment, you're basically dependent on the way that they have established and structured
their database.
Yeah, you are basically dependent on them to connect you with the mate.
Ooh. I didn't think about that, y'all.
I'm not going to call it a spirit, but what I'm going to call it is when a person do something on their own. It's like, you know, because God give everybody their own free will, right? So when you connect yourself with them, doing it, this is my way of doing it. I want to help. Now, their intent may be good. They have good intentions because they want to see people
they love
happy. They want people. They want people to be connected with the right soulmate, right? You know, per se. But they're forgetting the one ingredient that goes back to who established the whole thing, and that's God. You know, they are forgetting, they forgetting everything about that. And I'm not saying that God still can't use it, navigate through that now. You know, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that God can't navigate through that. But that has to be God's choice, making the choice to do that. You see what I'm saying? And even though, you know, you may have some who have met on these online dating, and they may have been together, and they may have gotten married, and they might be still married. We're not saying that that's not God. God can't navigate through that, but understand that, because God can do whatever He wants to do, and He can connect you any kind of way He so desire. But your heart, if you knit your heart to that and you're depending on them to connect you with somebody, and you a child of the Father, that's when you are veering away from waiting on God to do it His way. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And that's not trusting God.
And that's not trusting God.
Yeah.
That's basically trusting in the sight of what they have structured. You're trusting in their ability to connect you with someone and not trusting God. Listen to what I just said. Your heart, wherever your heart is towards. You see what I'm saying? Your heart probably wasn't towards them. You wanted to see whether or not, was this God connected, but then you found out
I was thinking maybe
that it wasn't.
God can use this site
to
connect me and my husband at this time.
But a person who believes and trusts in the ability of what they have structured, and they believe in that and they trust in that, that means that they have knitted their heart to their ability to connect them with someone, instead of knitting their heart to God to be the one to connect them with the one.
It's easier to trust the tangible.
It's
easy. Hard to trust
the untangible. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
That is so easy. It's easy for us to trust what we can touch and feel and smell. Right. But when you say trust God, and you can't see God, you can't feel God, you don't, it's like you really have to have the faith to know that God is working for you, with you, and know how y'all supposed to meet. See, one thing the sites don't know, they don't know your heart. They can't see your heart.
No. And they can't see the other person's heart either.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no filters involved when God is in it. You know what I'm saying? We can try our best to hide, but God knows the heart of man. We see what people do.
Right.
God knows why they do it. He sees the heart of a person. The sight can't see that. Walking down the street, when you see somebody walking down the street, they can't see that. Right. But God sees everything. He knows everything. He knows all things. So whether you say online dating, offline dating, however you want to do it, cyberspace dating, is God talking to you? Is God telling you this is Him? Or are you doing it because of fear and lack of trust?
For example, did you not see the profile of that guy? See that? And when you saw the profile, what did that do to you? Exactly. So how is that faith?
It met my whole expectation.
So how's that faith?
The ball head, the picture. Like I said, the picture was filtered. Right. Everything was to my liking.
Right. So were you walking by faith at that time?
Absolutely not.
No way. How could you be walking by faith?
I was walking by
profile. When you were able
to
see his profile.
I was walking by profile,
And really, when God does it, secret things that God keeps from you that will blow your mind about the one He has connected for you.
Exactly.
Secret things. Like you'd be like,
babe, remember we was in Ruth Chris? And we was having, every year, we should do this more often, but every year we have our, okay, babe, you know how people toast? Well, we have like a little toast as far as what we appreciate about each other and what we've learned in the years we've been together. And one thing that I will always remember is that I knew God, deep down inside, I knew God chose me for Him. Because He showed me the secret things of this man's heart. He showed me something that no other woman God revealed to me what He never revealed to any other woman He was trying to hook up in the flesh. And so when God spoke to him and said, this woman's going to tell you that I show her your heart. That's something that only God can reveal to a person. So when God showed me His heart, and I was literally able to articulate that to Him.
And see it.
And
see it.
It had nothing to do with this. Because if it had anything to do with this, I would have been running after Him like everybody else.
The crazy about it, He showed you my heart before you even knew everything about me.
Yeah.
It's like he showed you something about me before you knew everything about me.
Right.
It ain't like after we got married, then he showed you my heart.
Right. A lot of times
it was before.
We start dating and we have these questions for everybody, like a little survey question. Yeah. And a lot of people say, well, what are the questions you should ask when you're dating?
Yeah.
It just came naturally for us. It wasn't like I had a list.
Yes,
okay, Vito, listen. How many kids you got?
Yeah.
How many times you been married?
Yeah.
How much money you make?
Right.
What's your short-term and long-term goals? Right. Not saying nothing's wrong with that, but I didn't have a list going in. He didn't have a list coming in.
Right.
It was just
it was
revealed in the times of us conversing.
Yeah, we didn't see each other profile before time.
Right. You find out after the fact. Because I'm gonna tell you now, had I saw his profile, I would have ran the other way. So
that's why these sites, these dating sites,
it can be deception if you're not careful.
They try to hook you up with those who are making in the same range of money that you're making, so both of you can be on the same accord. That's basically why they do that. All right, the same type of hobbies that you guys like doing, but they don't understand in God, in the eyes of God, all that stuff doesn't matter. Because one thing about God, when he hooks two people up, he is always a process that, because when he starts you off like this anyway, because both of you have a relationship with him. It's not about what each other possess, or what your education is, or what type of job you have, or how much money you have. No, it's about relationship. That's what it's about, relationship. And then not a relationship, but God choosing both of you for each other. Right. That's the whole main thing right there. So when you're talking about a dating site, yeah, they choosing both of you for each other. But okay, where is God at? Where did God speak to these two individuals and said, "You two have I brought together for my glory"?
And think about it, you guys. A lot of times on the date site, just like in real life. So we're talking about online dating, but trust me, this is equivalent to when you see someone off the street somewhere.
Again, God can still navigate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But when we're telling someone what we like, check this out. My profile. Had I went in and I did my own profile, it would have been totally opposite of...
Yeah, exactly. What God put in me, or what he purposed me to have.
I would have been talking about education. I would have been talking about income. I would have been talking about he need not to have children. He need not have been married. And he had to have a house, credit good.
Yeah.
I mean, my profile would have been exactly what I wanted.
Your standards would have been
not knowing what God had and needed for me to have.
That's right. And you would have missed it because you would have been running off of your own profile.
Right. And that's what they ask you. They don't know you. So they're asking you questions.
Yeah, exactly.
You're answering the question based off what your flesh likes.
Right. What your personal preference is.
What your personal preference is. And then they're going to ask him the same thing.
What your personal preference is.
And I guarantee we wouldn't have got hooked up on the site.
Nope.
Because he would have been totally opposite from my profile.
That's right. That's exactly right. You would have been with somebody what you prefer to be with, far as on your profile. I would have been with somebody who I preferred to be with and they would have matched it up just like that. But then it wouldn't have been no God in it because God wasn't the one that connected it.
And it wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah, it wouldn't have. So, it wouldn't have lasted.
And again, we've already talked about your profile could be, I want a man that's, rich and famous and wealthy and all this, and he has to be stable and he has to have a whole lot of money. And then they put you with that person. And as soon as the website, the site puts you with the person, and y'all on dates, now y'all done got married, and guess what? He done lost his job. I'm just saying, God knows the future. He knows the present.
Yes,
he knows the past.
Yes,
he knows what a site cannot give you because you don't know the future.
Matchmaker.
So however he wants to, like my husband said, he can maneuver however he likes.
Yeah.
But it has to be God.
Yes.
It has to be out of the obedience of the Holy Ghost.
The blueprint is always in the garden.
Okay.
Adam and Eve.
Right. So I hope you guys take what we're saying as an overall global, spiritual.
Right.
It's not about online dating.
Right. No.
It really isn't.
No.
It's about obeying God. Point blank. Period.
Allowing God to connect you with who He has chosen for you.
I would have messed it up, y'all. I wouldn't have chose him. Well, I'm so happy God did.
Yeah. Same thing here.
Same thing here.
Same thing here.
So
I wouldn't have
anyway.
chose her. Nope.
Yes,
Sure
he
wouldn't.
would. Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Nope.
He's trying to be all hard.
I ain't trying to be out. I'm telling the truth.
Anyway, you guys, I hope this will help you guys.
But this right here was a hidden gem. This was a hidden diamond. Yeah, God hit that diamond.
That's so sweet. Well, thank you guys again for watching. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you guys. Continue to comment and email.
Yes.
We love them. It inspires and encourages us.
Yes, it does.
Just like you guys say that we do for you. So,
subscribers, and there's a lack of comments. Some of y'all watching secretly.
And that's okay too.
But I want to know the ones who watch secretly, and they know us, and we know them.
Matter of fact, it's so
and
funny.
they are afraid to say,
Listen,
hey, Marshall, hey, Vito.
But there was one. There was one who has been emailing us.
Who?
And I'm not going to say her name. But anyway, she had this thing about she didn't have a Facebook page. She could not talk to us on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
But God told her, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and create a Facebook page just for y'all. And she did it. And I was thinking, oh my God, you serious? And sure enough, we're the only person that she has on her Facebook page. And we want to say thank you. We do love you. You know who you are. Thank you for being obedient. God got you in this process. Seriously. He knows what we're going to need. It's a community. It's just people with like-minded who wants to be obedient and do it God's way.
That's right.
All right? And we need truth out there. Y'all, truth is freedom. I'm telling you, truth is freedom.
It is.
And my husband and I was talking about how so many people have died, and there's so many secrets in the grave that could have been exposed while they were alive.
They took the lies with them.
So that people can be free.
They took lies with them without telling the truth while they were here.
And now you know, a lot of families are trying to figure things out and have questions, and they had the answers, but because they didn't want to be truthful and they were scared of the truth and they didn't want people to know what's in the closet. Trust me, if God wants you to know, He's going to let us know, but it's best to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Right. The truth will always prevail over the lie.
And it will set you free.
It will outlive the lie. Yes, it will.
And it'll give you power that you didn't even know you had. So, we love you guys. We do thank you. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this is your process. Don't forget, embrace it, love it, and trust it. Be you.
And keep it moving.
Be you and keep moving.
Peace.